Good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. This morning I have with us Ann Knecht and Kimberly Blair from the Mid-Ohio Psychological Services. And they're just going to talk to us a little bit about this amazing event that we are putting together here in less than 2 weeks, which is crazy because I feel like we started talking about this months ago. So lots of excitement, gaining around it. And I'm just so excited. So I figured let's go live, talk a little bit about, what we're going to be doing, who you guys are, where you're from, and all of that. So, Kimberly, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as Lindsay said, I'm Kimberly Blair, and Ann's here with me. We are from Mid Ohio Psychological Services. We are a community mental health agency in central and southeastern Ohio, serving the underprivileged youth and adults in our community, providing therapy services. And one of the pieces that we have seen, not only with our communities, but also with our employees, is the importance of workplace wellness and self care. And so, as clinicians and those who preach self care and talk about balance, we feel like it's our role to share with our communities the importance of a self care practice. And so that's kind of what we're doing here. We've started working in other organizations and helping them develop a workplace wellness and self care. So our event is going to really focus on creating your own self care practice.
Okay.
You know, one of the pieces that I have this tug, I will say, with the term self care is the term self is included in it. So we can do all these things. I can tell you all these fancy things or do all these exercises, but if you're not going to practice it yourself, or you're not going to figure out a way for how to sprinkle it into your practice, it really just kind of goes away. And it's not necessarily a supervisor's role or the industry's role or the workplace role to enforce self-care. It is to
Right.
give you resources for self-care or help you set up a practice. But self-care is not necessarily, oh, I get a massage every week, or I get my nails done, or I go to yoga. It's something you sprinkle throughout your daily practice. And so my hope is with this event, we will talk about establishing a self-care practice. We will give you some tools and some exercises that you can choose to use, or maybe explore something you've never done before. The program is going to be, the event is going to be a very interactive workshop. So it will allow you to connect with others as well as practice many different things, and not just one thing. So when I say, so oftentimes I'm like, well, we're going to meditate. And then people are all like, no, I'm not going to meditate. I'm scared of meditation. And we'll teach you ways for it not to be so intimidating. So I'll ask Anne to share a little bit about some of the things, so the exercises that she's going to lead. I'll do the lecture piece and kind of the theory piece, and then Anne's role is going to be giving you some tools. So Anne, do you want to share some tools that we're going to cover?
Sure. I get to step in and do the fun part. So that works out well for me. But we're going to do some grounding exercises together. And
I love grounding.
Yes, I do too. I use grounding every day in my life. And so I'm going to teach you some grounding tools. We're going to do some mindfulness activities. We're really going to try to use our senses and practice some guided meditation. And then we also have some mindful movement in store for you. So you'll get to use like your whole body. So it should be a really good time.
I love it. I love it. And, I just think this is like the perfect timing. And I know you obviously have some connections to real estate, and it's a very stressful time right now. And so I think this is just like perfect timing. Everyone needs this right now. and I love what you said, Kimberly, about putting it into your routine, because that's so key. You're so right. We can all like say we're going to do the things and then we never do.
Mhm.
So personally, like I like to put that into like part of my morning routine. And yeah, I just think, oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be so great. So the first hour, what we're going to do at the event is like lunch and networking. So we're going to like get that out of the way, because as I'm sure you experienced in Columbus, realtors like to talk. We like to network. And so I figure let's do that, get everybody comfortable, and then we'll roll right into our workshops. So I am so excited. Was there anything else you ladies wanted to mention or talk about?
Well, Lindsay, I think that, we talked about the structure of the event. I think it not only do realtors like to talk and network, but it also just practices the importance of connection and belonging. And so
Yes.
one of the ways to prevent burnout is connection and belonging. So the World Health Organization says, burnout happens in the workplace. And I imagine, I'm not a realtor myself, but I've hung out enough on these things to kind of pick up some things, but that the field and the industry can be pretty isolating. And so it's really important because you're competing and there's so much pressure on what your value is attached to the number you sell or how you get paid and those kind of pieces. And so I really think that the way it's structured to allow for connection and networking and building those relationships and fostering those relationships and sharing a meal together has a really good, powerful message to prevent burnout and allowing for space. Sometimes we don't allow space to connect. We're always working. We're always thinking we have to go to the next thing or answer the call or email. And so I'm really grateful that there will be scheduled time to just connect.
I love that. Yes.
And you talk about you've shared with me, sometimes we don't have to have everything structured. We just allow for casual conversations. And I think that is important. Ann and I tend to balance each other out, that I am very okay, we're going to do this and we're going to do this activity. And it's very structured. And Ann does a lot of let just fluid pieces happen. And so I think allowing for fluid conversation without having it to be so structured really will help in the event in itself. It's pretty meta to add it right in as we're talking about self-care and creating a self-care practice.
Yes, I love that. And I don't know if you've heard of this show on Netflix. It's called Live to 100.
Mm-mm.
I recently discovered it, and they talk about the 5 blue zones in the world. And blue zones are where people live to 100 or more.
Yeah.
And a huge part of these blue zones is community and connection. They all have some sort of little group, whether it's a social group, religious, anything. And they say that that is one of the key components to living a long life. We aren't meant to live in isolation. We aren't meant to be alone. We thrive, with others and in community. So I'm just so excited for this. And I thank you ladies both so much for being willing to travel to Medina. First of all, I greatly appreciate that. And hopefully it'll be a beautiful fall day and you can enjoy all the colors as you come up. But thank you both again. Any closing words before we take off here?
No, Lindsay, did you want to just remind everyone when the event
yes.
is and how to sign up?
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad I have you, because I would have just, logged off. So our event is less than 2 weeks away. It is November 2nd. It is going to be at the Western Reserve Masonic Community in their brand new community room, and it is gorgeous. So great setting for us. Lunch is provided. The event is free, drinks as well. And it will be from 11 a.m. to roughly 2 p.m. whenever we finish up. And I will post the link in the comments for the Eventbrite that I have set up. So you can just register. I just need a head count for food. So thank you so much for that reminder. I will post all of that. And I'll see you next week or week after. I can't remember our date, but we're going to, go live again and get everybody excited. And I can't wait to see you, ladies. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Lindsay, for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, ladies. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.